Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Destiny and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're going to go ahead and start working with adding to the wish list, and all we need to do to add a product to the wish list is simply hit a button and the product is going to be automatically added to the wish list without refreshing the page. So you want to see more videos like this, to make sure to drop a like, consider subscribing, as it really means the world to me. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Now I'm simply going to open my code editor up, and if we look at the backend logic, I'm going to see what it said we should do. As you can see, adding products to the wish list. Firstly, it says we should write this, but I don't want to do that. Rather, I want to go ahead and configure my template firstly. So configure the template. We need to add this button over there in the wherever in the index or wherever at all. So I'm going to open up the index, and just beside this button, this add to cart button, I'm going to paste that button that I copied. And now if we get back here and let's say we want to get to the home page and refresh, so I'm gonna simply get back to the home page, and you're gonna see this pretty button beside this over here. So yeah, that's it. As you can see, what did I just do? I'm gonna change this back to 80. So that's the button that we have over there right now. So what I can do is go ahead and create a new div with a flex. I'm gonna say .d dash flex. That's the div. Now I'm gonna put this button in between them, and let's go ahead and refresh this. Okay, what do you notice now? They are on the same line. So whenever we hit this button, we're gonna go ahead and add something to the wish list. Pretty cool. So one of the things that you want to do is give this button a add to wish list class. Okay, give it a data product item p.id. Then yeah, that should be it. So with these two things now, we should start writing the jQuery code to actually grab this. Okay, so just down here, I'm gonna say adding to wish list. So adding to wish list. I'm gonna get back to my view, and all the way at the bottom, wow, we've written a lot of code. So I'm gonna copy this, and in my function, I'm gonna say add to wish list. Now what do we want to do? So for this one, now we need to see what we're going to do. Firstly, when we click on the add to wish list class, then we want to start doing something. So I'm going to say document dot, okay, not there but here, dot on click, and on click of what? On click of the add to wish list. So in order to make sure that there is no mistake, this is over here, add to wish list, and that's what we have in the function add to wish list. So when we've done that, I'm simply going to go ahead and create a function, and for this function now, what we're going to do is go ahead and we could say firstly we want to get the product ID. And how do we do that? I'm going to say product underscore ID should be equal to, and I'm going to say this dot, then what did we call that? I think attributes, then index, what we called it was data product item. So data dash product dash item. Hopefully that's it. Again, I'm gonna cross check. Yeah, and hopefully you guys understand everything that's going on. I'll be working with this extensively in this video. So now when we do that, I'm also gonna get the this. I'm gonna say let this underscore val should be equal to, then I'm simply gonna say this, as simple as that. So how about we try console logging the, so I'm gonna just say log the product ID. So I'm gonna say product ID is, then I'm just gonna pass in the product underscore ID. Did I catch it? Yeah, it did. So now let's get back here and refresh this, and hopefully everything works. So I'm gonna open up my dev tools, and in the console, that's what we got. So now let's try clicking on this button. What do you notice? Product ID is 4, product ID is 2, product ID is 1. Great. So now let's write the Ajax code. So I'm gonna say $Ajax, open up this, and the first thing it's gonna be needing is a URL. And what should the URL be? I'm just gonna say add to wish list slash, the next thing is gonna be data, and what should this data be? I'm gonna say ID should be equal to what? Product ID. As simple as that. Another thing that it's gonna be needing is the data type, and this should be what? JSON. Then we could go ahead and write a success function for this. So I'm gonna say success function. Okay, so for the success function, before we do this, we want to see, before this gets sent, we also want to write a function. And for this function, I'm simply gonna say this underscore val.html should be replaced with something. So this underscore val.html should be replaced with, and I'm simply gonna head all the way to the add to cart to grab something. My dear old friend Thick, adding products to cart. So this is what I want to grab over here. So just copy that and do away with it, then get back here and deposit it over here. Okay, so that's what we want to copy, and I'm gonna add a comma over here. And for the success function, I'm simply gonna log added to wish list, whatever. So you could say added to list or wish list. So added to wish list. Now let's try playing around with this to see if it works. So I'm just gonna get back here, I'm gonna refresh, and okay, now it shouldn't work because we don't have any URL for this. So we need to go over to the view and we need to write a URL. Very simple, quick URL for this one. So I'm gonna say define add underscore to underscore wish list, and I'm simply gonna pass in a request in there, and I'm gonna say product ID, or we could just say ID should be equal to request.get. And what we want to get, we want to get the ID. Hopefully you guys already know how this works. I've been explaining this in other videos. So now when we do this, the next thing that we need to do is go ahead and say product should be equal to, then we should get a product. I'm going to say product.objects this time around we're gonna get just one product. That's because it's only one product we're gonna be adding at a time. So we're gonna create this product by ID should be equal to ID. Now this is the ID over here. If I change this to product ID, then that means that over here I'm gonna say ID should be equal to what? Product ID. So hopefully you understand. And when we've done that, I'm gonna create an empty context variable just like this, and later I'm gonna append something in there. So firstly, let's count the wish list because I want to use it to do something. I'm gonna say wishlist underscore count should be equal to wishlist model dot object dot filter. And what do we want to filter? I'm gonna say filter by product should be equal to product. So right now, hopefully you understand what's going on. In the wishlist model, we have a product field over there. We simply filtered it by this product that we grabbed with this ID. So when we filter it, we also want to say user should be equal to the user that's logged in, request.user, and we simply want to go ahead and count it. So you could just print the wish list count to see what shows up. That's going to be like 1, 2, or 3. Now with that, we simply need to check if the wish list count, not model but count, is greater than 0, which means there's actually a wish list, right? Yeah, there's actually a wish list. Then what do we want to do? We want to go ahead and set the context should be equal to, then I'm going to say bool or boolean should be what? Should become true. So don't worry, I'm going to explain what's going on because it's getting kind of complicated over here. Now else, if the wish list count is less than 0, which means there is no wish list, what do we want to do? We should go ahead and create a wish list. So I'm gonna say new underscore wish list should be equal to wish list model dot object dot create. So we create. Now what do we want to pass in there? We're just gonna say product should be equal to product, and what else? User should be equal to request dot user. As simple as that. So now when we've done this, let's go ahead and pass in the context. So over here, I'm simply gonna say context should be equal to, then what do we want to say? We're gonna say bool should be true. Actually, this is supposed to be this kind of true. Okay, so when all this is done, we should finally go ahead and return JSON response. So I'm gonna say return JSON response. And what do we want to return? I could simply return the context, as simple as that. So guys, when all this is done, we should create a new URL, and this one is going to be adding to wish list. So I'm going to say adding to wish list, and I'm simply going to pass in a path over there. I'm going to say add to wish list, as simple as that. And we should create a add underscore to wish list like this. And finally, there's going to be a name, which is going to be add to wish list. Okay, guys, as simple as that. So our server is still running perfectly well. In our function, we got all this. So if it's added to the wish list, I think that's pretty much what we want to do. There is nothing much that we're going to do because we are not automatically appending this. But before we go ahead and show the success function, we want to check for something. So if the response of this function that's going to be passed in there, which is not passed in, so over here there's supposed to be a response just like this. So if response dot bool is equal to what? True. So you can make this triple like that because it's JS. So if it's equal to true, then what do we want to do? For now, let's just go ahead and log added to wish list. Okay, as simple as that. Now, could you try this out and see if it works? I'm going to open this up, and this is the wish list. We already have a fresh pair in there. So for now, let's try adding a banana. Okay, there is a problem. Now we click on this again, didn't get anything. Let's give this a hard refresh. Hopefully let's refresh. I'm gonna refresh this. Then let's get back to the wish list. Okay, we have a fresh pair over there. How about we try adding the banana? Okay, there is a problem. Obviously there is a problem. So if we add to cart, that doesn't even work. So the add to cart doesn't work. So there is definitely a problem. So obviously there are errors right now that we need to go and fix. All this are not working when we click on it. So I'm gonna get back to my code over here. We're gonna fix errors here and from the views.py, but let's start from here. So the first thing that I could see is add to wish list. This slash isn't supposed to be here. So if you take a close look at other ones that we'll be doing, as you can see, the slashes are over there. So for now, I'm just gonna get rid of that. You can leave it empty, or you could simply go over to slash add to wish list, and this is how it should be. So I think this is what we need. And also I want to put this down here. So only when all this works fine, that's when I want to change that button to the tick. Okay, now when this is sending, I'm just gonna put log. I want to log something onto the console, so I'm simply gonna say console.log, and I want to log. I'm just gonna say adding to wish list, not added, but adding to wish list. So I could grab this wish list that I've got over here. I'm just gonna paste it. So this one's gonna say adding, this one is gonna say added. As simple as that. Okay, so now the next thing that we could do is go ahead and work on the views.py. So you want to open up your views.py, and the first thing that I could see that this context is supposed to be indented in here, just like this. Hopefully you understand. Now after that, let's see. I think that's pretty much what we want to do. And if you take a close look here, you're gonna see that I'm using users instead of user. So what I want to say is user should be equal to request.user, and that should be it. So now let's refresh the page. I'm simply gonna go down. I don't know why this scrolled all the way to the top. As you can see, it's still reloading. Now I think it's done reloading. So I'm gonna give this a hard refresh, Ctrl+Shift+R to give it a hard refresh, and fingers crossed maybe it would work this time around. Then we're gonna go ahead and start working with something else. So let's just wait for this to load up. I don't know why it's taking a bit of time. Okay, so it's successfully loaded up, but we just want to wait for the icons to show up. Okay, so it's successfully loaded up. Now what I'm gonna do is go ahead and click this. Okay, what do you notice? Product ID is 4. It said adding to wish list, then it said added to wish list. And if we open up the network and we want to take a close look at all this, now as you can see, this one over here added to wish list, and I'm going to open up this one. As you can see, boot true, which means it's actually added. So we're going to get back here and refresh, and hopefully we should see a carrot over there. So we refresh, and okay, what do you notice? Now we get a carrot. That's working perfectly well, and we did all this without refreshing the page. That's awesome. So now we can add a pair, which we already have. Now it's not going to add again, so we can add this one, the bananas. And now if we get back here and refresh, then we should see a banana. So I don't know, this is taking a little, okay, as you can see, we can see a banana right there. So I guess that's pretty much it for the video, and I'm just gonna scroll all the way down to my back-end logics to see if there is something else that we need to add over there that I am missing. So scroll all the way down. Okay guys, that's pretty much it. As you can see, that's all we need to do. Now in the next one, we're gonna go ahead and start working with removing from wish lists. So in the wish lists, we could go ahead and click an X button and it's going to remove it from the wish list. But one more thing that I'd want to do before I go ahead and cut off this video is to show the number of things that we've got on our wish list over here at the top over here. So we need to do that. Now, how do we do that? I'm simply going to head back to my views PY. I'm simply going to copy this one over here, and I want to head over to my context PY. And in my context PY, I'm going to paste this. So firstly, I'm going to say try, and I'm going to paste this. Now I want to use try except because if a user isn't logged in and they try accessing the wish list, then it's going to break our program. Okay, but with this now, we're going to handle the error our own way. So instead of breaking, I'm simply going to come over here, get rid of this, and I'm going to say wish list count should be equal to none. Actually, this isn't supposed to be wish list count, but just wish list. Okay, so this one also is going to be just wish list. And for this, all I just want to do is filter by the logged in user. Okay, so get back, and I'm gonna say, actually I'm just gonna say wish list should be equal to 0, as simple as that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this. Okay, and also we want to send a message, so I'm gonna say messages dot success, or rather I think that should be warning, but I don't think I've got any message over here. So I could say from Django.contrib, I want to import messages, and I think that should be it. Now we need to go ahead and call messages dot then warning. I'm simply going to look for warning. That's it over there. Now what warning do we want to give them? We want to say something like you need to log in before you access the wish list. Okay, you need to log in before accessing your wish list. Okay, so this one over here, I could just simply grab this and just put it over here, as simple as that. Now let's go ahead and open up the views PY, and we want to make sure that on the wish list we have login required, as simple as that. So I think that's pretty much what we want to do. Now let's go ahead and display the count on our base. So what I'm going to do is in the context PY, I'm going to grab this wish list over here, and I'm going to open up our base HTML. Hopefully you guys already know that that's where all those wish list cart things are sitting. Now I'm going to look for request session, because very close to the request dot session, that's where we have the wish list. So request dot session, this is it. Now if you take a close look at the top, this one is wish list, this one is going to be cart, then as you can see, this is wish list icon. So all we need to do is get rid of this 4 over here. And you know what, I'm gonna view this on mobile to see if on mobile it's gonna be 4 actually. So open up your DevTools, Ctrl+Shift+I should open up the DevTools, and let's see. Okay, right now I can't even see anything from the wish list, so I'm gonna minimize this more to see if it brings up the mobile. Okay, as you can see, that's it over here. This one is for the mobile, the one that shows 4. So we need to get rid of it, and we simply need to come over here and we're gonna say wishlist.count. Okay, so right now I think we should see 3 if we refresh this, because we got 3 over here in our models. So we should refresh this, give it a couple seconds to load up. I don't know, my internet is just taking a whole lot of time to load up pages today. I'm gonna fix that later. So this loaded up, but I don't think it's actually displaying anything over there. That's kind of weird. So I actually did wishlist.count, but not any showing up over there. Let's see. Okay, alongside that, while that's still working, I'm just gonna come over here and I want to get rid of this. I'm gonna get rid of this, and I want to put the URL. So I'm just gonna put in the URL over here. Remember, it's in core pipe column wishlist. Okay, this is not working. Let's see if the one on the I'm simply gonna scroll to the second request.session, and this is what I'm looking for over here. So I'm just gonna say wishlist.count, as simple as that. And let's refresh this and see if it works. Okay, before we refresh, let's actually change the URL to see if that's working now. If we could go to the wish list, so I'm gonna say URL, and remember it's in core, so it's in core pipe wish list, and also we need to do the same thing for this one over here. So I'm gonna say URL, and we're gonna say core pipe wish list. I think that should be it. Let's go. Okay, I think I know why this isn't working. Yeah, I just found that now, that we need to add it over here. That escaped my mind. So I'm gonna add up the wish list over here. So I need to copy this wish list keyword or variable, and I need to put it down here so we can be able to access it in our template. Now we need to give this a refresh, and hopefully we should see 3 over there. And there is a problem. The problem still persists. Now what's going on? Let's refresh this one more time. I think this should work now. Okay, yeah, it's working. So okay, what do you notice, guys? We got 3 over here perfectly well. And now when we click on this, we should be able to hop over to the wish list page. I'm gonna click on this, and yeah, we're gonna go over to the wish list page. Okay, as you can see, this is the wish list page, and we got all those things that we added to the wish list. So I think that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and learned something new. Do make sure to drop a like, consider subscribing, as it would really mean the world to me. And if you want to get the templates to follow along with the tutorial, check out the link in the description below. They should help you get the template. And on to the next video, where we're gonna go ahead and start working with removing from wish list. Mad love, peace out.